Investor's Edge with Gary Kaltbaum. Straight talk about you and your money. Now from the BizTalk studios, here is Gary Kaltbaum.
And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It is January 25th. It's Thursday, 2024. 2 days before the Royal Rumble, WWE, at Tropicana Field, St. Petersburg, Florida. I will be there Saturday night. Can't wait. In case you don't know, I've been going to professional wrestling matches since 1976, when a bunch of buddies and I used to sneak in to the Miami Beach Convention Center to watch Dusty Rhodes fight the bad guy every Wednesday, even though ringside was $5. And then we used to hang out with some of the wrestlers afterwards. I used to be made fun of, professional wrestling. Now everybody loves it. They sell out WrestleManias, 80,000 people. And they do it for 2 nights now. So all the people that used to make fun of me, Anyway, if you were at the Royal Rumble, come say hi. I will be at ringside, Section H, a few rows back. Cost me a few bucks, but I dig that stuff. I will also have the pleasure on Saturday to see a good buddy of mine, love the guy, Jonathan Hoenig. You always see him on Fox News and Fox Business. One of the brightest people in the business. He's, I guess he's visiting some people in Tampa, and I'm going to stop by and say hello. But, hey, this is Investor's Edge. Serious talk on you and everything that affects you. The markets, the economy, jobs, the lies, the debt, the deficits, the scams, shams, corruption, you name it, we cover it. With no bias, agenda, or ulterior motive. We can't stand any of them. There's one guy we like these days, just so you know. Chip Roy, Texas. But he gets drowned out. That's one person out of 535 and an administration that lies up the wazoo in D.C. But he's drowned out. Nothing you can do. He's for balanced budgets. Accountability, what a concept. You and I are accountable, right? If you own a business, if you run a business, you're accountable, right? When you file your taxes, you're accountable to the IRS, right? You're accountable to your family, your spouse, to yourselves, right? Not DC. They don't give a crap. I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday. If I did, I'm going to mention it again. Our government in the last 12 months, $2.7 trillion deficit. On purpose. Joe Biden. There's your Bidenomics. He can take his Bidenomics and kiss mine. If I could run a debt of $2.7 trillion in 12 months on top of all the other spending, I'll give you 10% GDP. Anyway, if you do not get this radio show in your city, we will post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our Twitter feed, which is now X. And of course, if you don't follow us on X, you should. Just go there and put our name in or press the button at GaryK.com. You can also email me, but just be nice. Not like the guy who called me Jew Boy. What's the matter with people? Hey, Jew Boy, you think you're cool. Yeah, I do. Anyway. Mantras, mottos, themes, characteristics of bull and bear markets. That's what we talk about here. How were we able to buy NVIDIA breaking out above 506? It's now sitting at 615. Oh, by the way, we sold some yesterday, we told you. And it was a pretty darn good sell. And some Broadcom, we sold a little bit of that. after 100 points. So how did we buy NVIDIA, but we did not buy Tesla? Tesla's crumbling. NVIDIA's smoking. Well, let's put the pieces of the puzzle together, because what we like doing here is teaching lessons. I was on Varney today, Stuart Varney, and I said to him, Stuart, what you have to tell your viewers, the most important part of the equation is the worst acting group in the market right now, this second, is electric vehicle stocks. It's the worst acting group in the market. The best acting group in the market are the semis / artificial intelligence names. Why would I buy Tesla? Also, the chart pattern in Tesla is a definable downtrend. NVIDIA was a classic breakout of a 6-month trading range. Catching our drift? Why don't we own any solar stocks? Definable downtrend. Why don't we own China? Definable downtrend. Why do we basically only own technology, bigger names, and the like? Definable uptrends. Another part of the equation that we have told you time and time again, bearish phases are full of hot opens, weak closes, breakdown after breakdown. Bullish phases are weak opens, strong closes. These are just daily things. It's just characteristics. Bullish phases are full of just good closes regardless what happens during the day. Today, just by way of example, to give you an idea, the market opened hot today. I believe the Dow on the open today hit, if I have my bearings correct, 38,037. It was up 230 points. By 12 o'clock, it hit 37,796. Gave it all back. The Dow was in the red. At the close, Dow finished up 242. And in the last 15, 20 minutes, was up about 120. The NASDAQ today, early on, hit 15,597. Was up about 115. But then it was 15,430. Finished at 15,510. Not as strong as the Dow, but still very strong. In other words, they closed it well today. A good sign. And may I say, the Dow was up 242 today, even though United Health finished down 20 points, which is about 135 Dow points. Of course, you had other things going on in the Dow, helping things out. And I want to get to that immediately, because it is of import. One, IBM. I have been ripping this stock forever. I've been ripping the company forever for no growth. And in fact, Up until about 2 months ago, the stock had absolutely no gains since 1999. It's up 27 points this week, up 16%. It was up today, $16.50, almost 10% on 6 times average volume. Now, I will state for the record, the earnings were only up 8. The revenue was only up 4. What gives? We'll do a little bit of that up next on this, the one and only Investor's Edge.
Hi, I'm Gary Kaltbaum, host of the nationally syndicated radio show Investor's Edge. We're not just handsome radio people. We manage investors' money for a living, specializing in fee-based discretionary money management. No big commissions, just a fee on the assets that's managed. We also provide a full range of personalized services, including retirement planning, fixed income, and educational needs, all to assist you in achieving your financial goals. Understanding not all individuals have the same needs, we'll carefully evaluate your personal goals to determine a proper investment strategy. If your current approach to investing is not getting you to where you would like to be, call us to make an appointment for a complimentary portfolio review. The number to call is 888-422-5559. That's 888-422-5559. That's 888-422-5559. Investment advisory services offered through Kaltbaum Capital Management.
It's time to switch on the integrator units and get the brain cells working.
You're listening to
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Investor's Edge
The last bastion of quality programming.
with Gary Kaltbaum.
It doesn't get better than this.
So, what did IBM do? They said their sales growth, which has been nothing, could be mid-single digits this year, an acceleration of numbers. So IBM, I'm just letting you know, the trading of the stock has changed. The complexion of has changed. I don't own any, and it's too extended here for me to buy. But it certainly goes on my watch. The stock actually broke above range, but it's like 6 days ago where I can't buy before earnings. There's IBM today. That's about 110 Dow points. Caterpillar doesn't report for 10 days, but Caterpillar's on the verge of breaking out to new yearly highs. It had been weak for a while. What's going on there? Economically sensitive names are better. So Caterpillar was up about 70 Dow points. And then really besides that, Boeing down another 12 on the other end. Why don't we own Boeing? Well, we don't screw around with uncertainty. And we don't screw around with bad performance. Any way you cut it, nothing personal. A horrible job by Boeing. Communication. And quite lucky that the door came off at 16,000 feet, or else. Stunning. And what's interesting, Boeing's kind of blaming the airlines a little bit, and the airlines are blaming Boeing. Just get it fixed. What we do is measure the markets and invest in major uptrends and launching pads. As we said to you, NVIDIA was the best looking one we have seen in forever. And it's not by accident. It's gone from the breakout of 506. It closed today at 614. in about 10 trading days, maybe a little bit more. Hit a high of 625 yesterday. Normal pullback. And then what we do is we hope to ride uptrends. And after big moves, not easy. We did a little trading off of it because you want to give us 20% in 10 days on a big cap, we'll take some. And we'll let the rest ride. And then we look for the big gaps. Netflix yesterday. Gap's up 50. Do you think anybody's buying that stock? I'm not buying it. Gapped up 50. That's a decent time. Not every one of these big gaps work, but quite often they do. Why do you get big gaps in stocks? Because they blew away Wall Street estimates. Something's good's going on. Netflix did something they haven't done in a while. They blew away Wall Street estimates on subscribers. They're making more money because they finally got rid of sharing your password with 14 different people. Others now have to go get their own password. I bet there were a bunch of family fights over that recently. Netflix also been announcing, by the way, we're not advocating, we're just telling you the news. They signed on the WWE. 10 years, $5 billion. Longest running episodic television in the history of the world. Ratings bonanza for other USA Today it's been on. This is what we're looking for. And there's these major numbers coming out of companies. And then some blowing up. DuPont, blew up. Stock blew up. That's in the Dow. Not going to own it. Not even going to think about it. Why? It's what we do. We stay away from that crap. Tesla, ain't going to own any now. Humana down $47 today after being down $50 recently. No, thank you. And that's what we do during earnings season. Northrop Grumman was down $30 today. No, thank you. We stay away. And on and on and on and on. But just letting you know the theme of today, another good close. After a hot open, sold off. Now, I will say this, and we said it yesterday. We think some of the frontline names are going to slow down, sit around, relax, take it easy. And new things come to the fore. We're seeing a little bit of that. And that's what we do every night. We know when earnings are coming out. We await them. And we see what the reactions are. Next, oils. We have been in a void on oils, but we are letting you know that oil prices look like they are turning up. So we are now on oil stock watch because of oil prices turning up. Just letting you know. This is the first time we have said this in a long while. There was a day a couple of weeks ago, all we said to you was, maybe. But now we're on watch. And why do I say that? We are watching the strongest oil stocks, the ones that have held up best. Because if oil start to go, the ones that held up best and break out first are the ones we want to be on. That's how it works in commodity land. Will that affect the market if oil prices go up markedly? Yeah, I would suggest probably put a little headwind into the cruise lines and airlines. Possibly. We'll see. So oils, just put a little note on that. We mentioned China in the last 2 days. but more government related, I can't say it's on watch. To me, it looks like a bounce off of very extended conditions to the downside. Can't go any further than that. So constantly we're looking for changes, constantly looking for things that show up. And when wrong, be wrong fast, be wrong small, and when right, try to let them run. We got some questions. So you sold a little bit of some things, but don't you want to make 100%? We sure do. But you also got a deal in real time. It's not normal for big caps to go up 20% in 8 to 10 days. We'll see how it plays out. Up next, the numbers, the news. This is the one and only Investor's Edge.
Listening to
America is talking.
Investor's Edge.
He's got to be pleased with that. The crowd is just on its feet here. He's a Cinderella boy.
With Gary Kaltbaum.
Comes highly recommended. You're going to feel better if you talk to him.
And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. Oh, by the way, so yesterday we had mentioned how in California, a woman that stabbed her boyfriend 100 times was given probation. She murdered her boyfriend. The prosecutor asked for 5 years. It was manslaughter. The theme was the judge had the thought process she was on a psychotic episode from smoking marijuana. We reported it to you yesterday. All the news picked it up today. Everybody's reporting it today. And I was thinking to myself about this judge. Well, it was a psychotic episode because of marijuana. Well, wasn't smoking that marijuana a choice by that woman? Let's just say it was like a psychotic episode. Wasn't it a choice? And how do you not pay a penalty? The parents of the man that was stabbed 110 times to death are beyond them. Oh my God, I watched an interview today. These judges around the country, and I'm saying that as a general, but I'm sure there's great judges out there, but these lenient judges suck until it would happen to somebody in their family. The DAs, the lenient ones, suck. These people's jobs are onefold. Protect the citizenry from criminals. Yet they kiss the butts of the criminals and the citizenry. Pfft. Do you know in New York City, there was a man that put another man in a headlock because the other man was threatening the lives of women on the train. And I guess pulled out something, some sort of, I don't know, blunt instrument or something. The man died. They're charging this man with manslaughter for defending others on a train from, by the way, a career criminal. It's ass backwards out there for some of these DAs, DAs and judges. Yet, career criminals are let out in New York City after bludgeoning and beating up people and stealing and thievery. I mean, I just can go on and on and on and on. It's just stunning to watch. And I can read a story a day back to you on this. And it all has one thing in common. These lenient judges and DAs that have, I don't know, they get selected or elected, they should all be fired. immediately. It's just stunning. Absolutely stunning, ladies and gentlemen. And we move on. So the Dow is up 242, S&P up 25. Notice how we segue. NASDAQ 118, transports 197. Remember last Thursday we said the transports woke up. Don't ask me why. They just did. And we reported to you, and boom, boom, boom. Now, I will tell you, in the aftermarket, got some blow-ups. Intel, which had been acting great, terrible numbers, terrible guidance. It's only down about 6.5% in the aftermarket, but that's no good. KLA 10 Core, been riding the wave of semiconductor equipment. Lam Research reported, remember I've been telling you all these things. Lam Research reported earnings yesterday, overnight. Earnings were down 30. Revenues down 29. The stock today, and we're not making this up, on the open, the first bar hit $900, up 52, finished up 17. It's extended. Well, KLAC coughed it up. At least that's what the market thinks. I got it down $34 in the aftermarket, $37. No, it's moving. $35 in the aftermarket. We'll see if that affects other semiconductor stocks in the morning. I don't need to do any others. Anything else sticking out? Ooh, did Visa report yet? Visa is down $3.50. That's been acting well. Western Digital, with their crappy numbers, is down just $2 in the aftermarket. They reported another loss, but the loss was not as bad as the past. And I think that's about it, what I got in the aftermarket. Yeah. Tomorrow will be American Express, and that should be a big earnings report, simply because you should see my bills. And Caterpillar, which is of import, because that thing's trying to break out in advance of earnings. But the main theme is things are in good stead. Some extended stuff started pulling back today. We'll measure that as we move forward. But other areas coming to the fore. Oil's now on a little bit of watch. I have a few names in oils that are actually on the edge of breaking out of range already. A minority of names. There's like 300 oil stocks that I could follow. I think there's like 5 names. That's about it. If they break out, I cannot promise you I will buy them. I might as well give one name, right? Petrobras. PBR. They are Brazil-based, though. Keep that in mind. Our trust of other country stocks remains quite low, for obvious reasons. And that's in a nutshell. Financials better today. Economically sensitive better today. Some retail, not all, better today. I noticed Ulta Salon, which has been very weak, had a good day today with their -5 earnings. But that thing crashed from 556 down to 368 in 7 months. But better. The economic numbers coming out, they're fine. But we don't trust much. Why? $2.7 trillion of debt in the last 12 months. Brought to you by the Marxist control freak in the White House. As we head into the election, it's going to be a panic the next 10 months, especially with all the things Trump's going through in court, and he hasn't changed his stripes. Making fun of people, putting everybody down. I believe one of the big reasons he lost the election to Biden the last time And he'll lose again. It'll be amazing if he loses a guy that can hardly walk because he's stupid enough to piss off a bunch of people. I did a whole dissertation yesterday on you got to be nice as you head into an election. Stop putting anybody down. Just be nice. Fake it. Go to acting school. Nope. You should have heard him today. His new one, anybody who gives any money to Nikki Haley is gone. Sure, that'll earn a vote. Yeah, sure. Anyway, it's still January. We head to November. Oh, I just so hope there's some debates. I don't think we're going to get any debates, believe it or not. And for those blasting Nikki Haley for not getting out, let her finish. Holy crap. She's an American. She's running for election. We've done, 2 states? She's going to lose. But I've seen surprises before. Go read about Bill Clinton in the first few states in the primary. They gave him no chance. And guess what happened? Anyway, that's a little bit on the election noise. As we head into more earnings, and next week, monster earnings. We'll have that up next. And the news. This is the one and only Investor's Edge.
You're listening to...
What are we waiting for? Well, what are you waiting for? 1, 2, ready, go. Action!
Investor's Edge with Gary Kaltbaum.
And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. In the news, that's not getting reported. But we like reporting them because we just like making sure you know the facts. There's been a dramatic recovery in Arctic sea ice. Its highest level in 21 years. In spite of Al Gore 17 years ago telling us in 10 years we were doomed. As he became a multi-zillionaire with green energy companies flying on private jets. Yes, Arctic sea ice. The highest in 21 years. In the news. By the way, it's 82 degrees in Orlando today. But last week it was 35 degrees. And when I was in New York City last week, it was 12 degrees. Where's the global warming? Oh, that's right. It's winter. We want you to remember that. They came up with the moniker of climate change because they went all in on global cooling decades ago. Go look it up. They told you were an arse clown if you don't believe them on global cooling. You know what their line was back then? All the pollution's blocking the sun. And then it heated up. They changed it to global warming. And then around the globe, we had massive winters, blizzards. They got in a room. All right, we're looking like idiots. What can we do? And God bless them, they got somebody in advertising with the great moniker, let's just make it climate change. and a bunch of sycophants fell for the con. Oh, it's too hot. It's climate change. We got to do something about it. Oh, there's a tornado. It's climate change. There's a hurricane. It's climate change. Ladies and gentlemen, climate change is for real. The hoax is them trying to make you believe got to give us more money, and a lot more money, trillions of dollars around the globe being asked for governments, trying to convince you that they can actually stop the wind and the rain and the cold and the heat and the tornadoes and the hurricanes. They are nothing but a bunch of bullcrap artists. Let's just remember, we were warned centuries ago by Jefferson and many others that always beware of the people who create a crisis, because that's your wallets. We want you to remember all this. It's a con. Al Gore had the nuts, and others too. 10 years. The Earth is 4.5 billion years old, and he had the nerve, and they bought into it, and they gave him a movie that in 10 years we're doomed. Al Gore can go screw. And by the way, everything I say to you, I'd say straight to their faces, because their only goal is to extract out of you and make themselves wealthy. And Al Gore's done a great job. Go look up his net worth. Bazillions. Kerry, bazillions, as they fly on private jets and give you the middle finger. And it's a big one, too. We want you to remember all this. In the news, speaking of San Francisco, and this is an example, and it just happens to be San Francisco on this, it happens to other cities. In an area of San Francisco, doesn't matter where, there were no toilets. No, I'm not making this up. So they went to the commission to get a toilet done. And it took 3 years to go through the commission for the commission for the commission of the other commission to get it passed to the commission. $1.7 million later for one toilet, that doesn't work. $1.7 million, and it's still not done. We're not making this up. This is your government at work. And that's how you get to $2.7 trillion deficit in the last 12 months and no accountability. Do you know the Pentagon is missing like $1 trillion worth of weaponry? No, we're not making this up. Yet, our government raised the amount we give to them again and again and again. No accountability. $1 trillion, and I'm not even talking Afghanistan, what happened, where the worst foreign policy president of all time, Joe Biden, you know what he did with Afghanistan. So the Pentagon, no accountability. By the way, go read all this. You would think people would be pissed. But you know what they've perfected? They all know we have to go about our lives. And that's it. It's how Joe Biden can give away our tax dollars for student loans that didn't pay him back. How dare he? They signed the contract. See, he knows that he's just got a slush fund. He knows that that money's not coming out of your bank account. If you went to your bank account today and there was $300 missing and it says debit for a student loan, but somebody else's, he couldn't get away with it. But all they do is they just add it to the $34.1 trillion debt we have now and growing freaking leaps and bounds and making themselves look good because it adds to the GDP. You get where I'm going? But the good news, the market's in good shape. And we'll keep riding it. We'll keep telling you about it. We'll keep telling you the leaders, the laggards, the avoids. If things may change, and we said to you today, we're going to be watching the oils here. Write that down. because oil prices looks like they're turning. Tomorrow will be another day. I should be on with Mr. Cavuto tomorrow in the noon hour, and I'll be on Fox News tomorrow in the 4 o'clock hour with Neil. Check both out. Until then, you have a great evening. Drive carefully. And when you get home, do like we do. Quite simple. Make sure you hug your family. Make sure you hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise. Stay well, all. Thanks for joining us. Peace out.
This has been Investor's Edge with Gary Kaltbaum on BizTalk. To listen to past episodes or to get in contact with Gary, go to GaryK.com. That's GaryK.com.